This clip is brought to you by SaveWithConrad.com.
Excited to be here. We are excited to talk about Judgment Day 2006. This is going to be a really interesting show. I've enjoyed talking about 2006 with you. It's a very pivotal year in your career, and we're going to keep the news and notes going here. Recently, we had Mr. Randy Orton on, and an opportunity to catch up there. If you haven't already, you can check it out at adfreeshows.com. But he is going to be going into a suspension here in 2006 for 60 days. It's effective on April 12th. He's one of the youngest world champions in wrestling history, certainly the youngest in WWE history when he won the world title. And that was just 2 years prior to this. So he's still a very young man, just 26 years old. And we heard Randy talk last week, Kurt, about he occasionally did some knucklehead stuff. Just, I think you described it as he just needed to mature a little bit.
Yeah, Randy was 21 when he started, and he was just a young kid. He needed to mature. He had to make some mistakes in order to capitalize from it, and it made him a better human being. He's very well-centered now. He's very giving, very kind. When he was younger, he was a little more selfish, and it was all about him. And, you know, he was just immature, but he needed to develop a little bit more to become a better human being. And he did. And I think he did a phenomenal job. You heard him last week on the podcast. He's a different person now, completely.
What was your relationship like with Randy in 06? I know you were in a tough spot in your life in 06 too. Were you guys still talking to each other and sort of as friendly as you are now, or had you grown apart by 06?
No, we were pretty good friends. We connected quite a bit. You know, we would travel with each other every once in a while. When Randy first started, I traveled with him quite a bit, and then that didn't last that long. And but when we would travel every few weeks, and you know, just bullshit and, you know, go to the events and, you know, kill time together. So he was one of my best friends at that particular time, especially in 2006.
Here in the night, Teddy Long announces the King of the Ring tournament, and in your first match, your opponent will be Randy Orton. Of course, he's not pleased with that. On April 14th, you're interviewed backstage by Crystal Marshall, and it's the first time we've really heard from you since WrestleMania. And you first give congratulations to Ray, and then you say you lost the championship because of Randy Orton. And tonight you're taking the frustration out on him. It's supposed to be the last match before Orton is set to have this suspension, but it's not a squash. It's a really competitive match. You beat him using the ankle lock with a grapevine, and then you lock him in the move again to put him out of action. You walk up the ramp and then come back down to lock it in one more time. Of course, the story here is you broke his ankle, and he's got to have a reason to take that leave of absence. So here it is. What did you think of the execution that night?
I thought it was great. I mean, Randy was getting suspended. He needed a storyline to take him out, and you know, the injury thing worked. So it made me look like an animal, like a monster, and you know, that's what I wanted. I wanted a good push, and you know, that's what the company gave me. I think they were trying to keep me happy at the time.
Well, they kept you happy the next week because they gave you the week off. And on April 28th, they're set to feature a world heavyweight title showdown in the main event. It's you against the new champion, Rey Mysterio. And all throughout the show, we're treated to Kurt Angle's winner's circle segments. It's showing all your world title wins up to this point, and it's really highlighting your success as a WWE superstar. I mean, this show is really built around you, and the main event is great. You guys tear the house down. And I guess if there's one match on our show that we're going to talk about, we want to recommend, you should watch this one. It's something. Mysterio looks like he might win and hits the 619. Then he goes for the West Coast pop, but you plan him and grab that ankle lock. And now it looks like we've got a new world champion, but Mark Henry runs in and attacks you. And that creates, of course, the disqualification. He eventually splashes you through a table. You're selling it like you're dying, saying Mark Henry broke your rib. How did this match stack up? Is this one of your favorite matches with Ray?
Yes, it was a fluid match. The match was awesome. It flowed really well. We had a great story that we told. You know, the whole thing with the whole buildup was, you know, they were showing these vignettes of me and all my championships and what I have accomplished. It was a build up for the end of the show. And what the buildup came to was, the story was, Mark Henry was going to ruin it for me, winning the world title, and I'd end up going off and wrestling Mark Henry.
Hey, it's Conrad Thompson. Thanks for checking out the podcast here on YouTube. Be sure to hit the subscribe button and the notifications bell so you get a notice anytime we upload some new content. And go save yourself some money right now. If you're in a 30-year loan or you have credit card debt, it's not a matter of if I can save you money. It's a matter of how much. Find out right now for free at SaveWithConrad.com.